All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. It's the top of the hour. I'm so glad to have so many of you on, a lot of names that I recognize, and looks like also some new names, so I'm really excited about that. Today's topic is going to be supercharging your business with Facebook ads. And I'll get into a little bit more of my history here in a second, but before we do that, we need to go over the FTC disclosures that I'm required to do at the beginning of the webinar. I'm not a lawyer, CPA, or any other type of legal professional. If you have specific legal questions, please consult the correct legal professional and don't sue me. What I'm going to cover today with Facebook ads, I'm not going to cover anything from the legal perspective. If you're promoting the wrong things, you're going to get in trouble with Facebook or the FTC. So if you know you shouldn't be promoting it, don't promote it. So just wanted to get that out of the way so we could dive in. For those of you who don't know me, and I know a lot of you do from the names I'm seeing, I'm Isaac A. Wardell. I am a social marketing strategist. I own a local marketing company based out of El Dorado, Arkansas. I've had the chance and privilege to work with or for many of today's top internet marketers and Facebook experts. That includes Amy Porterfield, Mike Cannings, and several others. And I have clients locally. That's where the bulk of our business is done, but I also have them nationally, and I see some of you are actually on this webinar, so that's great. Welcome. And I actually have an international client based out of Australia, and that's going to be one of our case studies today, so that's going to be really exciting. Something that I want to mention is that all of the case studies that I'm going to show today, they're all my clients. You know, when a lot of people first get started, the way you get started with webinars and whatnot, if you don't have your own material, is you share case studies or stories from other successful marketing practices that have done what you want to do. But all of my case studies, they're actually my real clients. I'm not borrowing from anybody else's content. This is all original content, and these are all the case studies you're going to see are actually my clients that are paying me for my services. So just a note of, I guess, credibility there. All right, my thoughts on Facebook ads, just to kind of give you a little bit of background. I was doing a lot with Facebook, and I started to play with Facebook ads and quickly realized that, hey, this is way cool. I can get a whole lot more results from my clients and whatnot, and actually switched over, and this was last year, to not taking on any new Facebook clients unless they were running Facebook ads. And that's actually grown to the point where there's a lot of people that I just do Facebook ads for. We don't do anything else with their Facebook. They maintain all of their Facebook, but I do their ads. So just kind of a quick background on how I got into it, because I just started experimenting it for myself and then for my clients and had really positive successes with it. I believe Facebook ads are the best marketing tool available to businesses in today's marketing world. There's a whole lot of choices out there for marketing. You know, we've got radio, we've got print, we've got television. We've even got other types of online marketing, including Facebook feeds itself. And with all of those combined, I think Facebook ads are the best return for ROI, the best availability to be targeted, and the best way to reach an audience that has a specific interest. I'm going to try to convince you of that as well with some overwhelming case studies that show you just how powerful Facebook ads are and why they're such a game changer, and if you're not doing Facebook ads, why you need to be. Also, I will have time for questions at the end, just as an FYI. Ultimately, I want to convince you that this is the best way and the easiest way to supercharge your business, to start generating more results than you're already getting, and if you're not getting that positive results, to start getting positive results. If you sell social media services, I have clients that are actually basically reselling my services. They may already have a client that they're doing Facebook or social marketing for, and they don't want to do the Facebook ads, or they aren't familiar with the process, or perhaps it's just too much of a headache and they actually hire me to do their Facebook ads. But the big thing I want to get out there to those of you who are selling social marketing is you need to be doing this for your clients. You need to be including it in their package because you're going to get much better results for the client or for yourself if you're this business. Your clients are going to be much happier because they're going to be seeing a lot more results, a lot more activity on their page. And ultimately, you're going to get a lot more recognition and referrals. I've kind of got the word's kind of gotten around now that this is what I do in our local market, and people know because they've seen my clients' stuff on Facebook, and they've asked them, well, who's doing your Facebook ads? All right, I've got a question that came in here. It says, if you're doing Facebook ads for a client, what do you charge to do that? A percentage of volume or a flat fee? Jeff, I'm going to actually talk a little bit more about that at the end of the webinar, but just to give you the quick answer, I charge a flat fee, and there are people that charge a percentage of that. For me, though, it's basically I've got the same amount of work whether they have a really large budget or a very small budget, the way I set up my Facebook ads. So I just charge a flat fee, and that really usually the clients are a lot happier with that too because then they know what their fixed cost is going to be, and they get more bang for their buck if they have a larger budget. All right, so Facebook ads, what are they? They are paid advertising on Facebook. There's a lot of, I guess could be said, there's Facebook marketing as a general term. People think of business pages and doing your status updates, but Facebook ads are specifically paid advertising on Facebook. Now, there's a few different ways that it comes about, but I just want to clarify that they're not status updates. This is paid advertising on Facebook. They're one of the most highly targetable forms of marketing, and we're going to talk about a little bit about that here in a minute. And in my opinion, they're one of the most affordable forms of marketing. I've done a lot of other types of marketing, and I always get the most affordable results with Facebook ads. All right, just to give you an idea on the targeting, this is where you would create an ad in Facebook, and you can kind of see there's location, countries, states, zip codes, demographic, interest, connections. They're just, you can get so targeted, and I'm going to show you some case studies of some targeted stuff, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the types of targeting here in a minute. So reasons to run ads. One of the first reasons is just to grow your page. That seems to be the simple one where everybody starts, and especially if you have a Facebook page or are managing Facebook pages, growing your page, Facebook ads are one of the best ways to grow your page. Another reason is to get engagement. And we're going to talk more about each of these in depth, but basically to get your message out there more, to get people responding, to get people commenting, sharing, liking your content, etc. It's a great way to get words out about events or promote your causes, especially if you're, like a nonprofit or something, or if you're just passionate about something. It's a great way to promote your cause. Increase top-of-mind awareness, and you're really going to see this in one of the case studies I've got coming up. And basically just advertise your business. That's why most of us do marketing, is to market our business. All right, so where do Facebook ads appear? I've got some snapshots here. They appear most commonly in your feed, so I've got a picture of my feed here. They just appear over here on the right-hand side, up to 7 at a time. As of last year, it was 5, and then in November, I believe it was, they increased it to up to 6, and then again in February they increased it to up to 7 ads down the side. So we've got a lot of space here, and while I'm not sure that I'm on board with what they did, I think they were trying to increase revenue for their IPO launch, and my personal opinion is that the number of advertisers probably haven't increased. They're probably thinking they could get more ad spots, and it seems to actually decrease the prices, though, because they haven't had an influx of new advertisers, so there's just been more space for the current advertisers, which has drove the bid rate down a little bit. So actually an advantage for us as people running Facebook ads. Again, that's my opinion, nothing official I've got to back that up. But the other places that they appear are, for instance, next to your timeline. Here you've got in the picture area, under the comments section, you'll usually have 2-3 ads. They appear next to games and just kind of all over Facebook. Any windows that you have pop up, they usually are running an ad or two, maybe more, depending on how much space is available. All right, how they work. There's basically two ways that they work in terms of paying. You've got the pay-per-click and the pay-per-impressions. Most people use the pay-per-click because it's usually more affordable than the pay-per-impressions. Facebook ads basically are shown to the target audience based on the criteria that you create, and then each person in the target audience gets a chance to see your ad, and when they click on it, that's when Facebook charges you based on an algorithm of what other types of ads are targeting that same person at that point in time. So the bid amount, it's continually adjusting, and you usually get a range in terms of how much your bid amounts are. A question that usually comes up at this point is it better to pay per impressions or per clicks? And the quick answer to that is it really depends on what you're doing with Facebook ads and what your marketing's like. Generally speaking, if you're getting a really high click-through rate, it may be cheaper to pay per impressions. I've never actually had enough conversions per thousand, because it charges per thousand, to where it was more beneficial to pay per impressions, but I can see scenarios where that might be possible, especially when you're doing ads that are perhaps targeting your page, that sort of a thing. Usually you're going to get a better return on doing a pay-per-click, and that's how I set up all of my clients. I've never actually had a client that wanted to pay per impression. So targeting the ads, I showed you a little bit earlier. Geographically is one big way that you can do it. So by country, state, city, zip code. The interesting thing about the city is you can include a radius up to so many miles around it. It goes in increments of 10, 25, and then 50 miles around. So local ads are actually probably where I make my bread and butter in terms of Facebook ads. Of all the clients that I have, the biggest percentage of them are targeted via their local area. You can also target demographics, interest. This is another, this would probably be second to the geographic, but the second area is by interest, and interest is one of the best ways to target, especially if you don't have local ads running. You can target your connections or connections of a page by education, and basically you need to understand when you're targeting, there's two algorithms, and having done database design, we've got basically an and or an or in database. So the way that works with Facebook ads, and why you need to understand that, is you can target basically and or. So the combination of this with Facebook is kind of interesting. So you can target, for instance, geographically and a specific interest. However, if you list two interests, it's going to be an or. So anytime you have multiple in any one demographic, so when I pull up, for instance, the targeting here, if I'm targeting two countries or two interests, that's going to be an or statement. But every time I jump from, say, location to interest, I'm going to get an and statement that says, for instance, United States and this interest. So that can be crucial to understand because sometimes people get confused and they think that perhaps they're targeting and when they actually are getting an or. It can be a little bit confusing. Play around with it a little bit, you'll kind of figure it out. And the really helpful thing is that over here on this estimated reach side of the Facebook ads, it will tell you what you're actually targeting, and it'll tell you whether it's an and or an or. A little bit complicated, I know, but it's crucial to understand. All right, Facebook ad strategies. Basically, there's three styles, and the first is that you're attempting to get clicks, and this is the most common type of Facebook ad we see. It might be for getting likes to grow your page, it might be trying to get sales, anywhere where you're trying to get the viewer to click on the ad to do something. All right, the second style is one that I discovered by accident and developed. Probably not the first person to think of it, but I've never seen anybody else promote it or teach on it or share it as a strategy, and that is an attempt not to get clicks. It's basically more of an awareness or top-of-mind awareness campaign, and I've got some really great case studies that show just how effective these can be, and they tend to work best for local geographic markets, as you'll see in the case studies here in a minute. And then the third style is to get engagements, and again, I've got another case study for that in a minute. All right, so the first type of ad is a click, and one of those types is to grow your page. Ads have always been and continue to be the #1 way to grow your page. Yes, you can do offline stuff. Yes, you can send emails and have it in your email signatures and all that, and those are all great ways to help grow your page. You do get likes from those, but they're kind of small. How many of us actually remember after we go home from a local business and they say, like us on Facebook, do we remember to actually get on our computer or smartphone and go and like their page? It just doesn't happen very frequently. The most likely time a person is going to like your page is when they're on Facebook and they see it and they're like, oh, yeah, and they can just go right then and there and click the ad and or the to your page and like it. You can target your most desirable fans when you're trying to grow your page. So, you know, especially if you're, say, an online business or an information market or something to that effect, targeting your page with the best fans is desirable. I made this mistake when I first started in social media, and I started our business Facebook page back in the day, and I gave away a Blu-ray player, and I got likes from all over the United States, really grew the numbers of likes on my page, but ever since then, I've never been able to get any interaction on that page because they weren't targeted fans. They were just random people. So that's one of the great things about Facebook ads is you can target people who have already expressed interest in your types of services. You can target similar pages to yours under the interest section, and I do this all the time. It's really great. In fact, a lot of you probably saw my Facebook ads running for this webinar, and it was probably because you had liked or had shown interest in a certain topic or a page. And a great way to grow your page is to target competitors. So, you know, you'll see this all the time with, say, an insurance company. You know, if you're Geico, you might want to target Allstate or State Farm's fans because obviously they're interested in insurance. But this applies to pretty much any industry as a whole. And then you need to understand your Facebook ad budget when it comes to page growth. It's going to cost you to grow fans, but it's kind of a one-time cost in terms of once they like your page, you can target your ads so that it only shows to fans who haven't previously liked your page, so you're not wasting money. And then just know that it is going to cost you for new fans, and you've got to budget for that accordingly. I generally, with my stuff, I'm able to keep my new likes to about $1 or less per fan with the experience that I've got. In fact, I have had some that I've been able to keep down as low as 50 cents per new like. But just realize that you're going to have to pay for those new fans, and you can only do so many at a time. So, for instance, I live in a town that's got about 15,000 profiles online, a little bit more if we go out and get the whole county. The town population is right around 20,000. Of course, you know, probably a third of those are kids, which is why we got lesser profiles. And you can do a big blast and do a big Facebook push, and you're going to get a lot of new fans, but at some point you're going to get a diminishing rate of return because people have seen the ad so many times. If they haven't liked it and are not going to like it, you're kind of wasting your money. So a lot of times what we'll do is we'll start with kind of a big splash campaign, and then we'll bottleneck it back, say after a month, to a trickle, and that's where your real long-term steady growth comes from, where you have an ongoing budget where maybe people didn't know about you before you got new customers, or perhaps they wouldn't have previously liked your page, but things have changed in their life or their interests have changed where they'll now like it. It's that trickle effect can really help grow your page on a monthly basis. All right, so our first case study is Chara and Chara. They are an Australia-based jewelry and accessory company. They were launching their Facebook page, and they had about 50 likes, which is typical of any new page. You're able to usually get friends, family, etc. to like the page and get up there to the 50 likes by the time you get peers and coworkers and stuff, just basically spreading it on your profile. So that's pretty typical. But they wanted to grow their likes. They had just rebranded their company, and their old company Facebook page didn't really have anything on it, but they wanted to really grow and launch their Facebook presence. They had a very limited budget, only about $150 a month for spending on actual Facebook ads themselves. Basically above my fee is what I was getting at. So what I did was I developed ads for them targeting women who have liked her competitors' pages or who have similar interests to what she offers on her page and on her website for sale. And so we developed a campaign that targeted just over 100,000 users. So this is really kind of a small target when you consider the population of Australia is a little over 22 million. 100,000 is a pretty small market. So in that way they're very targeted. So the 60-day results, the first 60 days, and this is an ongoing client that I have every month. So this is just a 60-day snapshot from when we first started promoting her page. We added over 400 likes in the first 60 days. The average cost of the new like was less than 70 cents. It was 69 cents per new like on average. The average cost per click we were getting was down between 29 and 39 cents, which is something you have to understand about CPC is it depends who your target market is, how much it's going to cost you. If you're in the information marketing space, generally those have much higher cost because there tend to be more targeted fans. There's a lot more people targeting those people, where in this interest there weren't as many ads, so we were able to get the price down to that 29 to 39 cents. We had over 760,000 impressions in the 60-day period. And the big thing for me was she started out as a trial and she had such good results that she continued her campaign. And you can see the graph on the page here where we started right away getting a bunch of interest in the page. And then in the second month we made some adjustments. We got she got me some new images. We switched up the ads a little bit, and I played with the new strategy, and we were able to double the results she was getting from her Facebook ads. So there's a certain element where with your Facebook ads each audience is a little bit different. We were getting really good results to start with, but we got even better results when we were able to learn the audience and learn how to target them better. So basically that's the style of the Facebook ads to get clicks. It's also how I promote my products and webinars. It's a great way to promote affiliate products, to get people to visit your landing pages or anywhere you're trying to get them to your website or to opt in. It's, again, the best way to get new likes for your page. And basically just anything that requires an action of the viewer to click or respond to the ad, that's going to be your Facebook get clicks type ads on Facebook. All right, so awareness campaigns. In my opinion, this is the best strategy for local businesses that do not have, nor do they want to maintain a Facebook page. I meet businesses all the time. They don't have the time to manage a Facebook page, or perhaps they're older small business owners. They've never really been on Facebook. They don't know much about it. They don't want to learn about Facebook, but they've heard that it's this big thing. It's got 760 million users. Everybody they know is on it, their wife, their kids, their grandkids, everybody they talk to all the time. And they would really like to take advantage of marketing that, but they're not going to develop a page or maintain it. So this is a strategy that works for them. It also does work really well for those who have a Facebook page and still want to increase their awareness, but it works best, in my opinion, in small towns. It'll work in any size town, but it works extremely well in small towns or when you have a budget that's big enough to meet the large town. It'll become apparent why I'm saying that here in a minute when we get into the case study. It's great for local brick and mortar businesses. This is probably the best way to promote an offline business that's not going to have a Facebook page. It's also great for local events, most comparable to normal types of advertising. So, your traditional billboards, your radio advertising, your general. The problem with Facebook marketing generally is it's about building a relationship with your audience. With Facebook ads, you can certainly extend and build that relationship, but you can also introduce more normal means of advertising like traditional people think about when they think about advertising in terms of we get a billboard and it's promoting this large I don't know, service or whatever it is, but it's basically trying to get them to buy right off the bat instead of building the relationship with them first. And you can do that with Facebook ads. If you try to do that in your news feed, people are just going to unlike your page, but they don't have any control over which ads show to them other than based on what interest they have. There's a question on the Chara case study in terms of how much revenue it generated. Jay, I don't have that information. Part of it is it's an ongoing campaign where she's building a relationship with her Facebook followers and then featuring her products, and so it's kind of a long-term. There would have to be a long-term case study to understand the value of how much a Facebook client is worth, and honestly, she hasn't been running the campaign long enough to know what a like is worth to her in terms of revenue generated over the longer term. I do have a case study coming up, though, where we can address revenue a little bit at a little bit closer. All right, basically the Facebook awareness campaigns are designed not to get clicks. So here's a case study involving Ray Traylor CPA. Now, just full disclosure, he is my partner in the marketing company, but he's more like kind of like a chairman of the board. He's the CEO, and I actually run the company. He just helps advise and steer me. He also happens to be my father-in-law, which is why he's business partner. So just full disclosure as to who he is. But he's local here in El Dorado, and of course he's a CPA. So we just got through the busiest time of year for him, and that was the tax season. So prior to tax season, we were having one of our monthly meetings, or weekly meetings, and he's like, he really wanted to grow the tax practice this year to really increase revenue. And so he wanted to, of course, target the people in and around our local area of El Dorado, Arkansas. And so I said, well, what about doing some Facebook ads? I really think that this is one of the best ways to promote on Facebook. So he said, all right, and here's what I'm willing to spend. So we developed an 85-day campaign that started in late January and went through April 17th, which was tax day this year. Next year it'll be back to the 15th. There's reasons why it's moved to the 17th if you really want to get down into it, but most of you probably don't care at this point in time. It's just a dreaded day. He wanted the maximum exposure, and one of the other things he wanted that I don't think I've gotten the PowerPoint here is this wasn't the only marketing he was doing. He was also having some billboards, and we own a small local screen network that runs advertisements in local businesses. He developed a bunch of marketing with that and with us, and so he kind of wanted the branding to stay consistent, and we were able to do that. All right, so we targeted right around 15,000 profiles targeting the local area where we're based at, El Dorado, Arkansas, plus 25 miles around the town. So basically everybody within that circle comes to El Dorado to do their shopping and to get all of their products and services. And we're targeting 18 years old and older. So over the 85-day campaign, we had 3.2 million plus impressions. 3.2 million impressions to about 15,000 people. So the average user, if you average that out, I had to do the math on this, the average user saw the ads over 220 times over this 85-day period. The total cost for this campaign over the 85 days was $981.31, so less than $1,000 for 3.2 million impressions. So basically it comes out to you spending about $350 a month for the local, to get the local impressions here. You literally could not sign into Facebook if you were from El Dorado without seeing his ads. He basically had high bid amounts and more or less flooded the market with the Facebook ads, and the exposure he got from this everywhere he went, everybody was like, I saw you on Facebook. And then the thing was, every time they signed into Facebook, they saw him. So it was a continual reminder about his services, his taxes, his tax preparation service, etc. This became his most profitable tax season he's ever had, and he had double-digit revenue growth over last year. And a lot of that was attributed to his Facebook ads. I don't have the actual numbers, but it was, I think, around 17–18% double-digit growth revenue over last year in terms of the marketing. Now, he was doing some other marketing, but he'd also done other marketing previous years, so this was one of the new elements in his Facebook marketing that really helped to increase his profits and his revenues. All right, here's another local study. I know a lot of you probably have chiropractic clients. They seem to be a big one that people who are marketing go after, because I heard the statistic that a new patient to them on average is worth or can be worth up to $5,000 a year. So for chiropractors, getting a new client is a big deal. Jay was asking on Ray's case study, did he do anything different with the other channels of marketing? Jay, he did have more billboards, for instance, than he had last year. I think his radio ads were about the same. The screen ads, we had a few more screens than we have last year in the local businesses. He did do a postcard campaign, but I believe he did that last year as well. So he did a little bit more in all of the areas, but the biggest change was the Facebook ads. And again, this was for the local business. Does that answer your question? I'm going to go ahead with the case, so you can go ahead and submit your answer there. Anyway, so Dr. Jed Frisby, he was actually one of my first clients when we got started here a few years back. And like I said, local chiropractor. He's been looking to grow his practice. He's a young guy. He bought a practice after he got out of school. And he's spending about $700 to $900 a month for phone book ads when I first met him. That was, of course, the traditional advertising medium, I guess, especially for businesses in this area. This area is not one that's necessarily that technically advanced in terms of their marketing, although there's a lot of old school traditional, just as the whole town, they're trying to catch up with the rest of the tech world. But this was just what everybody does and trying to compete. $700 to $900 a month for phone book ads, and they weren't performing that well for them. So we'd done some other marketing with the terms of our screen network, and I approached him about doing some Facebook ads, especially after he had seen some of the other local ads that I've done here locally. And I've got examples of ads, by the way, for each of these case studies in terms of the ones we run. So I originally started him back when we started doing Facebook ads, and we did a trial period, and he got so much exposure from it and got so much great feedback that he decided to continue. So the case study that I'm showing you today is a 30-day view for April of 2012. Again, we were targeting that same market. I've got this market really defined now with in terms of what the costs are and who we target, etc. So the same El Dorado, Arkansas, and 25 miles around that we did for Ray, only this time we were doing it for chiropractic. In the month of April, he had over 500,000 impressions on his Facebook ads. Again, compared to how many Facebook impressions, I don't know, but it's probably not that many. Though he actually, when it came time to renew his phone book ads this year, he reduced the amount he was spending on Facebook ads considerably so that he could continue doing the Facebook ads because he's getting a lot more benefit out of the Facebook ads. So the total cost for his 500,000 impressions to the El Dorado area was $124.14 for the 30-day view. Much cheaper than his phone book ads with a lot more impressions, and he got a lot more feedback. Nobody had ever really said they'd seen him in the phone book, but he started getting comments all around from his family was really happy to see him on there all the time, and a lot of his other clients started commenting about it. And one of the things that we do is we try to, whenever we can, is do facial branding in a market this small, because we're a very small and more tight-knit town, being only about 20,000 people, about 50,000 people in the county. So you really can get to know people on an individual basis. This isn't just this is actually somebody you might run into in Walmart around here, or the other local grocery store. So the question was Dr. Jed driving the Facebook traffic to his fan page or to his website? The answer is that he does have a Facebook page, and we did originally, I don't know, a year or so ago, we optimized that. These ads were not, again, they're designed not to get clicks. As you can see, they've got usually the address. Some of the others have phone numbers. And that's where I was going with these local ads, is with local brick and mortar businesses, we can do things like, if you got pain in your neck, come see me. I'm at this local place, and especially in a town this small. Again, this would work for bigger towns as well. Usually everybody knows where that's at, but it's a call to actually get them to come into the brick and mortar company. However, to answer your question, Jay, we did have it linked to his Facebook page, and one of the side benefits was he did increase a bunch of likes for his Facebook page as well. But the main goal of this was just to get that top-of-mind awareness, to get impressions, to get him known as a local chiropractor out there. And we're actually designed not to get clicks so that we can get more impressions, because it's just, again, this is back to your billboard type advertising, where you're trying to get them to come into a brick and mortar business. You're trying to get them to come somewhere local. You're trying to sell them something. So the more impressions you get, the better. We're not really trying to get them to click. But as a side benefit, he did grow his Facebook page. So local targeted ads, they're one of the easiest way to target ads. It's so easy to target locally, and you can target by city, country, zip code. There's so many ways to target the local ads. And when I say, by the way, too, local ads work better in smaller towns, the reason I'm saying that is, for instance, for 15,000 people, you can see the cost is only a few $100s a month. If you're targeting, say, 1 million people in a bigger city, say, I don't know, pick Dallas or something, it's going to cost you a lot more to get that same number of impressions. You're probably going to try to do some other interest to get the number of impressions down. So you might be targeting competitors' Facebook pages or something. But, if you've got a town of 100,000 or less, you can target the whole town for an affordable cost and get your name out there everywhere. And of course, the smaller, the easier it is to flood that town. So it can give huge visibility to any of the local businesses. That's quick and affordable. And the best thing I love about it is people, especially clients, they will buy your services if it's increasing revenue, but they buy off of emotion. And Facebook ads create emotion, because when, and I've got a testimonial of my local florist with her Facebook stuff, and she's like, people are coming into the store all the time saying they saw our stuff on Facebook. And this is the same thing that happened to Jed Frisbee and others, that, hey, I saw you on Facebook. And that emotional connection, that emotional reinforcement from other people really helps to validate the local business and make them want to continue to do the Facebook ads and to continue their services with you. So it works, these local ads, they'll work for any retail or service-based industry. Again, local, of course, we've got other examples that we're going to talk about in terms of non-local, but basically anything that's customer-facing. Business to business, it can be, not so much, of course, for we've done some business to business stuff, and we can target the whole town and reach all the small business owners just simply because it's affordable to do so, and we're just trying to pick in between all of the average people that are not business owners. But this is another area where you can, if you got interest, people that are part of, say, you can target a local chamber of commerce page or something, you could do more of the business-to-business type stuff, but it works probably best for the retail and retail service type industries. Again, the narrower the target, the better qualifying leads you're going to get. But it doesn't have to be, when I say local, it doesn't have to just be towns and cities. It can be states, it can be regions, it can be counties, or, as in the next case study I'm going to show you, political districts. So this case study comes from Beth Ann Rankin. She is a congressional candidate for the Arkansas 4th District. She's got the endorsement of Mike Huckabee, Jim Keat, several others that are very well known. 2 years ago, she was running against the Democratic incumbent. She won the Republican primary, but she lost in the general election. This year, the Mike Ross, who's the current candidate, is stepping down. So it's an open seat, and she's facing a lot of competition, but she's shown good numbers. But I approached her a few times, like, we've got to do Facebook ads, and it was interesting. I kept approaching her, and then one day she opened up her Facebook to get on and to, talk with her fans, and she saw an ad for one of her competitors. I think they got a Facebook coupon because they haven't run a strong Facebook campaign. It was like they're playing with it, which usually means in this market that they got a $50 Facebook coupon. So she called me. She's like, okay, we need to do something. I don't have only, she gave me basically a budget. She's like, here's what I have to spend between now and in the primary. So just to kind of give you an idea, a baseline to gauge her success from, because obviously we don't have profit to really tie to a congressional seat, because it's not about that. But from her over 2 years of campaigning, because congressional seats are 2 years, so basically she lost out in November and then started late or about the middle of last year campaigning again. So she only had about 6 months off from campaigning. So over this about 2.5 years of campaigning, she gathered about 2,900 followers on her congressional Facebook page, which is, pretty good. But we started running ads for her, and this is an overlook of the first 40 days, which started in, it was kind of the first quarter of 2012. We've got more stats, but when I was putting together, this is what I grabbed, was the first 40 days, just to show you the most sharp contrast between then and after she started running Facebook ads. She got, in the first 40 days, she got almost 1.5 million impressions to her target district. That would be the 4th Arkansas congressional district. All right, and we did a lot of other stuff. We optimized her Facebook page a little bit more and whatnot too, but this is just the ads section of it. In the first 40 days, she gained 815 new likes, mostly as a side benefit. A lot of the ads we were developing for her were like the local ones I talked about previously, where she was targeting gun owners, talking about her stance on the about guns. So, we targeted the National Rifle Association and gun owners and concealed carry permit owners. We did an anti-abortion type ad where we targeted pro-life people, and she basically reached out to them and said, I'm a pro-life advocate. I always have been. You can check my record, that sort of a thing. We reached out to Mike Huckabee fans. Of course, Mike Huckabee was a presidential candidate in 2008. He's from Arkansas, now has a Fox News channel, has a really big following. So we targeted Mike Huckabee fans in the 4th District because Mike Huckabee endorsed Beth Ann Rankin. So we were targeting her, those people who are fans of Mike Huckabee, saying Mike Huckabee endorsed Beth Ann Rankin, Mike Huckabee supports her. So those were the types of ads that we were running, and as a result, we've got a bunch of new likes. So it was really kind of a side benefit. We were just going to try to blast out and target the whole audience, but the side benefit was, and you'll see that with these local not meant to be necessarily clicked on ads, that you will still get people clicking and liking your page. But out of 2,900 people over 2.5 years of marketing, and all of a sudden in the first 40 days, 815 new likes, almost 1,000 new likes, which is probably about, I'm doing rough numbers in my head, it's probably an over a 20% growth in her fan page. And I actually saw her right about this 40-day time period. She's like, it's incredible. We went from like 30 people talking to our page to 300 or 400 people talking about our page. It was awesome. So she was really excited. But this cost her $606.93. Again, that was the first 40 days. That wasn't the entire campaign. That was just the first 40 days. But as you can see, less than $1 per new like, 1.5 million impressions almost to her target district. She gained some real traction on Facebook, and her Facebook support and the people sharing about her campaign have just skyrocketed since the launch of this campaign. So here's some stats I grabbed from her Facebook page. Any guesses when the campaign started? As you can see, you can see the before and after. You can tell the exact day when we started running Facebook ads and getting engagement. I mean, it was almost flatlined, and then boom, we started getting a ton of engagement. And as you can see, it started to taper off, and that was because we actually had changed up the ads a little bit. We did some targeting with a new television ad that she was running. We changed the ads a little bit, and then that kind of finished. And as you can see, it was starting to go back up there at the end as we kind of transitions the ad again. We kind of had different periods where we were doing different things. But you can just see the people talking about the page skyrocketed, the new likes skyrocketed, the viral reach just went up incredibly. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful than a graph like that to show a client and say, here's what we did for you. If you like this case study, there's another case study that I really love, and if you can ever hear them talk about it, it's another political case study from Rapid City. I think it's North Dakota, might be South Dakota, I don't remember. It's one of the Dakotas. And this really young guy toppled a incumbent that was a household name using about $3,000 in Facebook ads, targeting 75,000 people in the city and about 33 different interests. And I've got a link to that there, or you can just look it up on Google. It's a fascinating study. This guy, he wasn't even liked by city council, but he reached out to the community. He was tired of the politics, them doing everything the way that they were doing it, and he decided to stand up and make a change, and he was able to make his impression and win the election. He actually attributes winning the election to the $3,000 he spent in Facebook ads and beating the incumbent who spent a lot more than that. All right, so this is taking a little bit longer than what I intended, so I'm going to try to speed things up here. Facebook ads for engagement. You can target ads at people that have liked your page. So this is a great way to promote status updates to get greater reach of your audience. You can, of course, promote status updates to non-fans to get them to engage with your page. It's a really great way to get the engagement up on your page. On average, according to Facebook, a stat I read a couple of weeks ago said that your normal feed posts only reach about 16% of your or less of your fan base. So using promoted status updates can be a great way to get additional engagement, to reach more of your fan base, etc. It's also a great way to offer additional products and services. So a case study here. I have a local bank that we help manage, and their Facebook ads. They're a small town bank. They only have 3 locations. They've been in business for over 100 years, and they're competing with much more well-funded banks, both regional and national banks in their town, which is actually about 25 miles away from here. Again, they've been in business for over 100 years, and so we did a lot of different ads to really help them grow. I mean, when we started working on their page, I think they had 250 fans, and within a couple of months, we had them up to like 1,300 fans. So really incredible in terms of what we did in fan growth. But what we did then was we started running ads mixed in with our other ads that targeted the page, that increased the awareness about their debit card, and as you can see here with the other ad, just referrals with a $20 gift certificate if you referred somebody. So just making people aware of the additional services that this bank offers. And they had thousands of impressions, and I don't have the exact, because we were mixing them in with other ads, I don't have the exact number of impressions, but it was in the hundreds of thousands or millions for the campaign. It did incredible increase awareness of their debit card. In fact, it was so successful that we actually expanded it to include the whole town versus just the people that had liked their page. So here's a couple of more that they did. We did an ad for Switch Rewards that targeted both the people of the page in case they hadn't liked it, but also the town in general. We did a campaign of need help breaking up with your other bank, and they had a YouTube video we did for that. And the results for this, in the month after we started doing Facebook ads for them, they had one of the best months. I forget if it was in the history of the bank or in the or just in a long time. They had one of the best months in terms of new accounts being opened. Oh, here I guess I did have the impressions. They had almost 1 million impressions to about 15,000 people. Again, they were reaching out around the town. This wasn't El Dorado, but it was another nearby town. But the cost was $188.06. And they generated all of these new customers at the bank, etc. And they started getting comments like this one on their Facebook page. It said, "Your Facebook page is helping People's Bank to become one of my favorite banks." So I don't know if this was a person who had previously been with another bank and had switched or whatnot, but that's always great to get comments like that back on your page. So other types of Facebook ads that you can run, you can promote images, videos, status updates. They've got page recommendations, which are under the sponsored ads. Things that you can promote your pages, products, services, causes, webinars, affiliate links to get opt-ins. Basically, you name it, and you can pretty much promote it on Facebook. So here's some fun facts that you need to know about Facebook ads. The image dimensions are 110 pixels by 80 pixels. And take your time to optimize the images. Even if you got an image that's smaller than that, go ahead, create the 110 by 80, and then you can center it, etc. You know, if you've got a bigger image, maybe you can zoom in on part of it to make it easier to see. It makes a difference if you optimize your image dimensions. Even if you're just zooming in a little bit on a certain part of a picture or something, it really makes a difference to have that full space utilized. Facebook has recently just changed their text size. It's now 90 characters, which is down from what it was before. It does limit you a little bit. You can't put quite as much in the Facebook ads as you used to, but you just have to figure out how to phrase things better. It can take up to 24 hours after you submit an ad to get it approved. So if you're wanting to do ads for tomorrow, you might get it through in time, but it's better if you can plan things out a little bit further in advance. Another fun thing that anybody that runs Facebook ads will tell you, there is a Facebook approval lottery. And when I say lottery, Facebook has some rules around what you can promote and how you can promote it. And sometimes you'll get ads disapproved, and it doesn't hurt your account or anything. And you'll be able to resubmit that same ad and get a different person that approve it, because they're physically approving these, and that person will approve it. So if you get, you know, a couple of disapprovals, you may want to look at what you're phrasing, what you're promoting, and check their guidelines. But sometimes you'll just get an ad denied, and you can resubmit it or change one or two words that you think might have been the ones that tripped it up, or that sort of a thing, and get that same ad approved. I've had that happen many times before. All right, so here's some advanced strategies for Facebook ads. Of course, you know, I love getting into advanced strategies, being a strategist and all. Promote your products and services with a page tab. Even if you've got a website that you're redirecting to, but you've also got a Facebook page, create a tab that redirects to the website, and then promote that. Promote your website through that tab. This can be done with the Static iframe app. I've got a couple of videos on that out there, I believe, if you check on YouTube. But otherwise, just look up Static iframe app on Facebook, and you'll be able to find it. There's a few reasons why you want to do this. One is you'll get slightly higher bid amounts. It'll help grow your page as a side benefit. And then also, thirdly, when people think they're, you know, kind of staying on Facebook, they're more likely to click on it. Of course, if you can embed your website inside of a Facebook tab or create your web page inside of a Facebook tab, that's even better. The more you can keep them inside of Facebook versus going external, the better. All right, you can promote images or videos and post them as a status update and then promote that update. You want to maximize these by if you're doing like a like this ad that you see here. So I went into I use Sprout Social. You could have done this through Hootsuite, and when you go in there, you can actually you can choose the title of the picture, and then it can link to the URL. So this is a way, for instance, that I get a little bit more characters out of my ads, like you see here, where I'm using the full 90 characters for that main part of the ad as the status update, and then I've got a nice little picture which helps create it, and then you can see it's a little taller than a normal Facebook ad. And then the click here to download it actually becomes a link that takes them to the squeeze page where they can download that. All right, so who loves free resources? I certainly do, and I've actually put together a whole page for you guys on Facebook ads. It's free. If you just go to isaacawardell.com/Facebook ads, on there you'll get a free Facebook ad guide. That's 7-page PDF. It'll talk about targeting. It talks about each different type of ad, when you want to use that, what that ad's designed for, how it's intended. There's a whole section on understanding Facebook ad analytics and all of the different terms associated. You get in there and you start looking at your analytics and you're like, what in the world does this mean or that mean? And so I have explained all of that in that free PDF guide. You also get a free video on how to set up your Facebook ads account, how to add users to your ads account. So this is how when I sign up a client, I send them these 2 videos. I tell them to add me as a user to their ads account so that Facebook's billing them directly for the ads and whatnot versus me trying to bill them and then repay Facebook, etc. There's also a free video on a cool ad strategy for if you're trying to grow your page. And there's another free video that's a Facebook radius map for local targeting. So when you put in, I want to target my city plus 25 miles around, what does 25 miles around look like? Using the resource I give out in this free video, you'll be able to see exactly what that encompasses and what it doesn't encompass. All right, so now my quick promotional. If you guys have questions, go ahead and submit them now. I'll be taking questions here after the end of the next slide, and I'll try to get to as many of those as I can. If you visit fbadsnow.com, this is where I can do your Facebook ads campaign. It's basically done for you. The standard package that I have is 1 unique campaign, which consists of 6 unique ads developed each month. So we try to get a variety because you never know exactly which ones are going to take off and perform the best, so we kind of do enough of them that we're sure that some of them are going to be good and successful. I'll monitor your ads throughout the month, adjusting bids or adjusting the ads if needed to get a better result, maybe a little bit of beta testing with your audience, that sort of thing. So I'll just kind of monitor them, tweak them, use my experience to get you the best deal possible. Of course, the ads will be targeted to your audience, and I charge a flat fee, as I said at the beginning, and your budget above my fee is paid directly to Facebook. I don't charge anything additional, no matter how big the size of your budget is. Now, if you're going to do multiple campaigns, it's just a flat fee per campaign, but in terms of the budget for the campaign, it's just a flat fee, and then the rest of it goes to Facebook, and it bills your credit card directly. I don't ever see the money, so you know for sure exactly what you're getting. And of course, you have access to your ads account, so you can see how the monitoring, or you can monitor the results that you're getting. Again, that's fbadsnow.com. So I know some experts that are Facebook ads experts, and they're charging about $1,000 a month to consult on Facebook ads. One person that I really respect, very knowledgeable, that I followed, that's what she charges. That's basically her package. For me, though, I really want to get you involved in Facebook ads. So my setup fee is a little bit different. If you sign a thing doing it for 12 months, it's $100 a month. If you do it for 6, I charge a little bit more, and you can kind of see the breakdown there, and you can see the ad performance anytime you want by logging into your ads account. But this is, in my opinion, it's very affordable. I don't know anybody else that's doing it for this amount, and I'm not doing the marketing gimmick of $97. I'm just upfront. It's $100 a month for like the 12-month, and you define your budget above that, and of course I can give you a recommended budget based on how many people you're trying to target if you want. But those are what my fees are, and I would love to work with you or have you, sell this to your clients and then just come back and have me manage your ads for you. So that's my quick sales pitch. I realize it's the top of the hour, so if you need to leave, you're more than welcome to, but I'm going to be sticking around for a few minutes answering questions, and if you guys want to, you can still go ahead and continue to submit those, and I'll stay around until all the questions are answered here. All right, so Jay asked, do I have any experience working with the Facebook Start to Success program? Jay, I went through that. I assume you're talking about the Facebook Business program that they actually sponsor. I've gone through that. It's kind of a basic program. It is a good way if you don't know anything about Facebook ads to get started. Of course, the cool part about that is I believe if you get so many fans within a month, they give you, I think it's $100 worth of free advertising coupons. So, if you're new to Facebook ads, certainly worth signing up, even if it's just for the coupon. And Facebook's been doing a lot of promotion around that. So if you guys are looking that way, you can just look up the Facebook ads program. All right, let's see what other questions we got here. Is it better to pay by click or impressions? Again, I think I touched on this earlier. It really depends what your goals are and what kind of response you're getting. If you're getting a really good response, it may be cheaper to pay per impressions. I found it's usually better to pay per click, especially if you're doing the local ads. You want to pay per click, so you're going to get a much cheaper rate. Where if you're paying, trying to get them not to click, so you're going to get a lot more impressions. All right, is there any businesses that Facebook ads won't work for? I would say that the limitation on Facebook ads is on the targeting. It's not necessarily on the business. The question is your number one, is your target market on Facebook to begin with? And secondly, if they are on Facebook, can you find them? Is there a page that they like? Is there an interest that they have? Is there a locality you can define them by? So if you have one of those, then Facebook ads, I think, will work for just about any business. Granted, it's going to be a lot more difficult if you have a well, it's going to be a lot easier the higher the dollar amount your products are. So if your average sale is, say, $60, it's probably going to be a lot more beneficial to run Facebook ads than if you're selling 99-cent, I don't know, gumballs or something. Certainly the brand awareness and all of that is going to help you and help your business, but if you're paying 69 cents to get a like and they buy one gumball for 99 cents, it may not make as much sense to do that for. What I really recommend is define your market, see if there's a way that you can find their target and then create the ads off of that. I hope that answers that question. How long is the approval process for Facebook ads? I've seen it as short as 2 hours and take as long as 24 hours. I believe the Facebook's official policy is up to 24 hours, if I remember right. Does this work for MLM? The answer on that is yes, just like any other website, you can certainly do Facebook for MLM, and there's certainly a lot of people doing that. You just need to know how to promote it and what to promote. You might want to have a free opt-in that you're giving away or something to get them so that you can email them. I'm not hugely familiar with the MLM market, but it should work. All right, which fan page creator do I prefer? Again, another question from Jay. Leisure, fan page, engine, etc. Jay, I've seen really good things from Leisure. Honestly, all of my stuff I do on myself. I'm very proficient in HTML and somewhat proficient in Photoshop, and so I usually create all of my own tabs that way. But I really liked what I've seen from Leisure. I'm familiar with the name FanPage Engines, but I haven't used it much myself. The other thing with that is I believe both of those are subscription based, so that's another reason why I just create my own, because I can okay at it, and then I don't have that monthly ongoing fee. I hope that answers your question there. If not, let me know and I'll come back around to it. What is the best way to promote e-commerce stores with Facebook ads? In my opinion, the best way to promote an e-commerce store, like if you were, say, Amazon or something, is not to promote the general store. For instance, we have books. My suggestion is that you find specific products where you have, say, it's either the best seller or you have the best profit margin, and then you go to Facebook and develop an ad that targets people who are interested in that product or service on Facebook. When I was preparing for this webinar, I had somebody ask me, they had a online e-commerce store for batteries, and they were asking me, well, what's the best way to sell that? And I recommended that they find probably unique batteries where they could target specific people. So, for instance, let's just pick marine batteries. You probably wouldn't sell that in an e-commerce store, but let's just say you did. You might want to go out and find people who have liked ATVs and boats and say, we have the heaviest duty marine batteries that'll last the longest when you're out on the lake, that sort of thing, and promote that one specific product out to that specific audience on Facebook. If you have a bookstore, you might pick whatever the top seller is and promote that one book out to authors of that fan, something along like that. And then, of course, you're hoping to get them back long term. But that's how I would personally approach e-commerce to make it generate the most revenue rather than taking a general approach. Jay Lee makes a good point on the MLM. He says, for the person asking about MLM, focus on branding yourself, not on the company or product. And that's very true. Make yourself a public figure so that people are following you and like you, and then, of course, you're building that relationship, and it's just going to grow from there. Are there ads on mobile devices? Not currently. They have got to figure out how to monetize the mobile market. From what I've heard, what they're probably going to do is more along the lines of doing All right.
Welcome to GoToWebinar, web events made easy.
All right. Can you guys hear me? Apparently my USB came unplugged there. All right. Great. Sorry about that. I think I've got a port that's going out. The question was about mobile ads on mobile devices, and currently they're not available on mobile devices unless that mobile device is using a desktop version. They're only available to desktop users. However, Facebook, number one, they have to figure out how to get it on mobile because that's a huge market. The second is that I've heard from I think it was the Facebook blog, that they're looking at doing promoted status updates on the mobile devices sometime here in the next few months, and that'll probably be the way they first start to monetize with mobile ads. But for right now, it's just desktop versions, but it's still very effective. All right, how do you track Facebook stats from other stats if you're getting traffic from multiple places? There's a couple of ways you can do this. One, obviously, you got the number of clicks coming from your Facebook analytics, ad analytics. You can also, if you want to, you could do a Bitly. If you like the Bitly analytics better, you could put that in there, and Facebook will read through the redirect and display the URL of an original site, so you can track it there. If you're trying to track profit generated from a specific campaign, one of the things I've done is actually set up an affiliate account for a Facebook ad and then run my Facebook ads through that affiliate account that I've created. Of course, I'm my own affiliate there, but then you can track the exact sales to a specific campaign. The other thing, too, you can do if you've got Google Analytics or something is you can tell what the referring sites are. I hope that answers that question. Those are some things I've done to track that. What does social reach mean in Facebook Analytics? That's really easy. It's just that's when a name displays under the ads. So, for instance, you've seen the ads where so-and-so friend likes this ad or this page or whatever, and that's the so social reach is the total amount of times that your ad's been shown with what somebody's friend's name associated with it, and not just the ad itself. What is the average cost for new likes? I think I touched on this earlier. My target is usually $1 or less. A lot of times I can get it to be quite a bit less than that, down even to the 50-cent range sometimes. But my goal is always about $1, and I would say if you know what you're doing, that shouldn't be a problem unless you're targeting a market that's really an expensive market, if that makes sense. For instance, when I'm trying to grow my page, it tends to be probably up towards $1.50 to maybe $2 for a new like or opt-in, because I'm targeting people that have a lot more people targeting them. What is the recommended budget for Facebook ads? This is a tricky one. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish, what your goals out of it, how many people you're targeting, how many other people are targeting them, and what the bid rates are. All of that goes in there. As a general rule of thumb, if I'm just trying to get a budget that is going to reach everybody in that profile market that logs in, I generally go $50 a month per 10,000 people targeted. That's what I've used locally and it's worked out really well. You can do more than that if you want. If you're targeting a really big audience, that could get expensive very quickly. So you may just have to either narrow down your target market or just reach as many of those as as you can with that budget. And a lot of times you'll still show multiple times. But if you're wanting to flood or sort of flood the market and get a decent result, that's the stats that I use locally. You can kind of play with that yourself. All right, I got a question here from Santo. It says, what is Leisure? You mentioned this a few minutes ago. Leisure is basically it's a drag and drop way to build Facebook tabs. They also do a lot of other things, but basically they have a bunch of apps, and the thing that I've seen from them is basically you can drag and drop and create a Facebook page. So you can create a very quick opt-in form. You can embed your website. You can create a lot of other tabs very easily without any coding involved. It's very slick process actually to use Leisure for that and create your Facebook tabs. I believe they do some other things too, but I don't remember off the top of my head. How do you compare Google ads to Facebook ads? Ooh, I love this question. Basically, in my opinion, there's kind of two types of marketing. There's reactive and proactive. And in my opinion, Google ads are reactive because they don't show up until somebody goes searching for a product, a service, or puts some sort of search into the search engine. So that's, in my opinion, reactive marketing. It's much like phone book. Phone book is reactive marketing. It's waiting for the user to come to the source and then reacting and trying to capture them. I prefer Facebook because Facebook is proactive. You can go out and find your target people. You can go out and find the people who are interested in your product and reach them maybe before they, you can actually create them thinking about your product or service, or you can say, hey, that's neat, I hadn't even thought about that, and get them to click on your ad. Basically, it puts the control much more in your hands of going out and finding the clients versus waiting for clients to come to you. Those who wait for clients to come to you generally don't do as well in business as those who go out and find their clients, and that goes for pretty much any business. So in my mind, Facebook ads are better for that reason, because you're going out and being proactive. Now, it's still a good idea to have the reactive marketing, because when people go searching for that product, you definitely want to be there, because they are probably the most likely ready to buy, especially if it's a like a chiropractor. They're in pain, they want to go get their stuff fixed. But there's a lot to be said for the top of mind awareness and the proactive marketing. The other point I'll make on Google versus Facebook ads is it depends what market and what keywords you're going after. Facebook ads can be cheaper, not always, but a lot of the times I've found that's true. Apparently you guys like that explanation of Google versus Facebook. I'm getting comments on it. Let's see here. Another question is, how long did it take me to become proficient in Facebook ads? I've probably been doing Facebook ads for maybe about a year or so. It's not so much probably the time that it takes to become proficient. It's usually the budget. I have spent thousands of dollars of my own money becoming proficient, and then of course I've had the opportunity to have thousands of dollars worth of clients' Facebook ads to learn and become an expert in the Facebook ads in terms of what gets the better results and whatnot. There's the big thing to understand about Facebook ads is it does take a while to get to know them, because you got to understand, for instance, how is the cost per click evaluated? Well, it's a constantly changing algorithm, and there's a lot of things that go into it. Who your target market is and what demographic they're in. Who else is targeting those same people at that point in time? What season of the year is it? Is it a local ad versus a national ad? Those are all things that affect, and there's many more that affect that cost per click. So, for instance, locally, Facebook, they can only show my my local ads to local people. So they're going to push out the national ads where they can show in another local area where there's nobody marketing locally, because they want to show my local ad and get my money. They're always trying to get the most money that they can, so they're going to try to get my money and their money, but they can only show my ads here, so they're going to show my ads here and show their ads somewhere else. But, for instance, Christmas, there's probably more retailers marketing, so you're going to have an overall increase. There's all of those things that go in, and there's a whole lot more dynamics that go into it, and all of those help you become better. The more of those things you understand help you to become better at Facebook ads. But even just starting out, you may not be able to get some of the numbers I get, say, in new clicks or whatnot, but you're still going to get a lot better results than if you don't do anything with Facebook ads. I hope that answers that question there. How do you include video in your ads? Apparently they saw the, I think it was the video we did with Beth Ann Rankin, the one I showed in the PowerPoint earlier. The way that I get video into ads is, now officially there's what's called premium ads with Facebook. You have to be spending, I think, about $2,000 a month before you get premium ads, and so there's certain ones you can do there. But the way I do it, which is kind of a advanced strategy, sneak around behind the door, is I'll put the video in a Facebook status update and optimize, that 90 characters leading up to the video, and then put a good video title in there. And then I'll promote the status update. And that's how I get both images and videos into ads, and then you can promote that quote-unquote video ad, which when they click on it will just take them to that post with the video in it. But it's a really cool way if you're trying to market videos on Facebook to get in there without having to spend a lot of money, because basically you're going to pay the same amount for the video ad, quote-unquote, as you would for any other status update ad, which is really cool because you're getting the whole video experience in there. All right, I think that's all the questions. If there's any more, you can go ahead and submit them. Again, if you're interested in having me do expert monitoring of your Facebook ads, you can visit fbadsnow.com. And of course, if you're going to go out and talk to your clients and try to sell them on this, you can come back to that URL at any point in the future, and order there, and then I've got a whole form that you can fill out after you sign up that helps you think through who you're wanting to target, and helps me become much better associated with your types of products and develop the better target and really get you the best deal for your money being spent on there. And this is a great addition if you already have a client to just bump up their service already, or approach them about doing a campaign to grow their page. You know, if imagine if you're managing a page and you've got 1,000 people on it, imagine how much better it'd be if you had 2,000 people on it. That sort of a thing. So, all right, I'm not getting any more questions, but I'm getting some comments that say, great job, thanks Isaac, really good info. I appreciate all the support, you guys, and I know this webinar ran a little bit longer than I intended, but I hope it was filled with good content for you and that you enjoyed it. And if you guys would, head on over to my Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Isaac A. Wardell, and like my page, and you can follow me there. I'm always putting out tips and strategy on Facebook and a lot of other social media tips, so YouTube videos, tutorials, that sort of a thing. I'd really love to have you as part of the conversation over there. All right, everybody, take care and stay safe this afternoon, and go out and crush it. Oh, one question here. Are we doing a replay? Yes, I will have a replay out to you tomorrow at the latest. It's so you can watch it in case you missed part of it, or want to. If you guys want to pass this on to even clients that you have or people that you think might be interested, feel free to pass the webinar on or to pass the replay on. Again, thanks so much for being on, and we'll catch you all later.